Fighting out of Topanga, we have Topanga Karate.
Yeah! Woo! Topanga! You kick some ass, Xander! Woo!
What's going on, everybody? Today we got our special guest, Suehyla. You probably know her as Patricia from Cobra Kai. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Pretty good. So yeah, how'd you get involved, with acting, the industry and everything?
Like I have a weird story I tell everybody. I was born and raised in Mississippi, and in the 9th grade, I was like, I'm going to learn about cars. So
Yeah.
I signed up and decided to take auto mechanics, except for my elective. Except the school was like, no, we already have enough girls in auto mechanics, so you're not allowed to sign up. And I went, okay. So I needed another elective, so I signed up for drama 1, and that was when I was 14 years old. So then I just kind of stuck with it. And then I moved here to Atlanta in the late 90s, early aughts. I was in radio and also doing theater. And I just stuck with it. It's where I'm happy. And I kept going, and film and TV came along, and that's it.
Yeah, speaking of Atlanta, how has the, film industry been impacted, by the, COVID and everything?
I mean, it definitely stopped for a while. Like when the pandemic hit in March, there's a lot of people that lost 100% of their income. I would say I lost 95% of my income because sometimes I'm a teaching artist, so I was able to do that virtually. But starting around August and September, once people started to understand like masks and how we need to do stuff, they started putting that protocol on all the sets, and so the sets started opening up. So it's still going pretty strong. It's as strong as it can be. We're definitely grateful.
Yeah, so I've seen some of your other credits, like what was it like to work on the Ozark?
That was great. That was an overnight shoot, and I always like to make the joke because I'm an EMT in that one, and it's really quick. You have to have good eyes and a good ear to even hear me. I usually get really tiny roles anyway, and I love them because I get to play everywhere. But I also ended up being an EMT on Stranger Things. So in my brain, there's this weird universe where this EMT travels back and forth between the 80s and time.
Yeah, so speaking of Cobra Kai, what was your audition process for that, if you can remember?
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, what we normally do is we self-tape, which means that we tape at home, and or you can go to a service and do that. And so I would submit that tape to the casting director. And sometimes there are callbacks and sometimes there are not. And for this specific role, there were callbacks. And so I was brought in and given the opportunity to do the audition again in front of the casting director and get a little bit more personal one-on-one direction. And then they cast me.
Yeah, so speaking of, the tournament, what was that energy like in that arena, with all the extras and all that?
It was so great. It was so great. And all the stunt people, and we got to watch them do all the fights and things like that. And they were all phenomenal. And so there was, it was easy to stay excited. The crazy thing that happened during our shoot, though, is that we're all packed. We've got the extras with us and all of that. It started snowing.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they were like, how long can we go before we need to release people? Because this was, a lot of people are either they're gonna have to bus people, or we have to drive home, and some of us are like 45 minutes away from this location. But I remember we were all like, oh my gosh, because it started to come down, and Georgia is not always readily equipped for that kind of weather, and I believe it was really unexpected.
Yeah, speaking of Georgia, I don't know if you work on a lot of projects that are based out of California, they're in Atlanta, but they're supposed to be California. I've heard a lot of people talk about how the weather, it's hard to stay in short clothes when it's really freezing outside.
I mean, it depends. I haven't had any project kind of experience with that. But you know, you do what you got to do. Like we hear stories about that all the time, where you're supposed to pretend like you're cold and it's really hot, so you're trying not to sweat. And then there are the times where you're like, hey, it's supposed to be taking place in the middle of an August summer, but it's freezing. So yeah.
So for Cobra Kai, was pretty much all your stuff script, or did you get to improvise at all?
Most of it was scripted. They did let me play. Like I have a clear memory that the first time we went to go shoot.
Yeah.
They were like, "Are you ready?" And I said, yeah, we've been watching all the stuff all day. So they keep everyone pretty quiet, you know, and so they can do the editing. And I jumped up and I did that thing that first thing that you made me do. And then I sit down, and it was just quiet from how loud I was, and then they yelled cut, and everybody kind of laughed about it, and they were like, wow, that was really loud. And I was like, I am here for you, man.
So what was your favorite part about, you know, getting to be in the tournament?
You know, I'm considerably older than you, so I grew up with the original Karate Kid. Right. The things I enjoyed were there were a lot of Atlanta actors that were there, and so it was great to see all of the community that I know pretty well, and for us to be there together. The second thing was to be with like, you know, with these actors that you remembered seeing when I was your age, that you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And also they were all nice and they're all so great. And then to watch the stunt people step in, it was really a wonderful time. And I'll give you a bit of trivia. Like I had a certain amount of days that I was supposed to be there. And then they were running long because that storm had kind of like thrown things off schedule. And they asked me if I could come in one more day, but unfortunately I couldn't. So for the background scenes, like when they went for wider shots, they had to get a body double.
Oh, wow.
So they had to find another actor that kind of, or somebody that kind of looked like me, slap on that big blue, beautiful, glittery makeup. And so some of the wide apart, like further apart scenes, that's not me.
Speaking of the makeup, what was it like, you know, having to get all that makeup put on and, you know, wearing the gi and the belt and everything?
Oh, it was so much fun. It was so great.
So you had, you know, a few lines with Courtney. Did you get to meet Ralph as well?
I did. They were both sitting next to me. And, as a matter of fact, when I did that loud yell thing, and right as my first line, he turned around and he went, "That was pretty loud." And I was like, "Yeah, it was. That's why they hired me."
So speaking of, you know, acting, what's your favorite project that you've got to work on so far?
You know, I just did an interview yesterday where somebody asked me the same question, and I can't pick. You're every time you take on a project, you are so far in your life. I can't pick. Every time I get to work, I'm so happy to be working and so excited that is the project that I'm like, yay, this is my favorite. And I'm always really happy. So they're all worth it.
So I've seen where you have a recurring role in Stargirl. What was it like to work on that?
That was actually a surprise. I was only supposed to be there for the pilot. For the pilot. And then they realized that they needed a teacher, and they were kind enough to bring me back, or an administrator. That one was also fun. I mean, I hate to sound boring, but I'm pretty happy to like be on every set that I'm on. You know?
So you were also in a really big movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp. What was it like to be a part of a big Marvel movie like that?
That was astounding. And the big joke about that is that they brought me on for, not joke, but the funny part of it was you audition for something like that and you don't know what you're auditioning for. They don't tell you. They may say like untitled Marvel project or whatever. You have no idea, and the script that you get is not the real script. It's just a made up thing just to see how you'll read. And so I did my thing, and then I got cast, and then I found out what it was on, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And so I had a week that I was on set. And then I was going to be wrapped. And at the end of the week, you know, they'd all be like, hey, let's wrap on Suehyla. Like, we'll let her go. And everybody, yay. And then a couple of weeks went by and they were like, oh, yeah, actually, we need you one more time. So I came back and I did another week and I was like, yeah, I got to see everybody. That project made me really happy because again, my background is theater. Theater and film and TV work very differently because no matter what size role you have in theater, you're at every rehearsal every day, right? So you get to bond with everybody and get to know everybody, and then you get to do the run of the show, and there's this like family atmosphere. Film and TV, a lot of the roles that I get cast in, I'm in for like a day, 2 days. And so it's really quick. So I don't get to know people quickly. I just have to kind of be like, hey, like it's whatever. Marvel was the first time, Ant-Man and the Wasp was the first time I got to know people and be on set and like make friends and return to it. So that it's a very, very happy memory for me.
Yeah, I don't know if you can remember or not. I heard like a lot of time Marvel, like, you know, they won't even give you a script. They'll just like show you your lines and jerk it because they don't want anything getting leaked. I don't know if that's how, you know, they were with you, but
well, I mean, most films are most film and TV, you only get the sides that you're working on. It's rare that you get the entire script. That's been my experience on numerous projects.
So what is your favorite part about being an actor or an actress?
I guess the work and the storytelling, and I learn every time I take something on, and I think I love the chance at getting to try again. Always getting to try again. Like you get to mess up and you get to try again. And I think I like that. There seems to be a form of forgiveness in that, and the fact that I can come back and do it again, or try another audition, or try to do this and try to make myself better.
So what's your next goal, whether it's to be in a certain type of show or a movie going forward?
I don't know how to answer that because I'm like, I just want to keep working. Happy to keep working. I think if there's any goal, it's to hopefully understand my value and be able to maintain that in some way.
Is there any particular actor or actress that you'd like to work with in the future?
All of them. All of them. Please. I will say I'm very sad. I was really sad after Robin Williams passed away because Robin Williams I would have loved to have worked with him at least once.
I know you were only in Cobra Kai season 1, but what was that move to Netflix like?
So crazy. That was when we were on YouTube. It was like I didn't even get a chance to see it. So when it moved to Netflix, there was this, you know, my fiance and I were like, hey, we'll start watching this. And to be able to get that access to it, because we already had Netflix, and to watch it. And then all of a sudden people that I haven't heard from in a long time were like, is that you? Is that? Because I barely recognized you. And that was, I don't know, it made me very excited for the writers and for the creators and for that craft. Because it's so good. It's so good. Like, I'm very happy.
So what is like the best, you know, scene you feel like that you've got to do? Like what you feel like you've done your best job, like as an actress, you know, whether it's on like any type of project?
I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes it's just, I don't know that I have that feeling. You know, does that make sense? Because
like you're always trying to critique something.
No, it's I can always watch something and think, oh, there was something better. There was something stronger. I won't even say better. There's something different I could have done, something stronger. And that's where I learn, and I try to take that into any other role that I do. Again, I guess if there's satisfaction or happiness and stuff that I've done, it's only if everyone feels like
Yeah.
working together and having that collaboration is met. And that's when I feel good about a scene.
Yeah.
But in regards to being proud, feeling like, watch this scene and tell me I don't deserve an Academy Award, that's just never going to happen.
Yeah. 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 So for Cobra Kai, I doubt it, but did they let you keep any props or anything?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Apparently they're like the one show that won't give anything. Yeah.
Well, they're not the one
Yeah.
show. There's lots of shows that don't do that. And they do that. The reason they can't do that is if they need to do reshoots.
Yeah. They
They
gotta
have
have.
to keep all that stuff with them. You know,
Yeah. Well,
they're not the
thank
only
you.
ones that do that. Though.
Yeah. So for Cobra Kai, are you team Miyagi-Do or team Cobra Kai?
I do not answer. Well, I mean, I'll ask you. Don't you find that when you're watching it that you flip back and forth?
Yeah, all the time. Well, I guess now more of team combination, I guess, but
Well, I will say currently right now, I'm definitely, considering where the last season ended, I am not with Cobra Kai.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You're Topanga karate, that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if they'll bring Topanga karate back for the next tournament. I know you can't deny or confirm, but that'd be interesting to see.
It'd be interesting. I will say there's the story for me in my brain is that my kid seemed like he was older, like, and
Yeah, like it was his last year probably.
Yeah, and so if I could be brought back, I hope I come back with a daughter and that she kicks.
Yeah, she can mix up with Tori and Sam a little bit.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. I just want to thank you for coming on. It's great to be able to speak with you today.
Oh, it was wonderful to be on here. Thanks for even wanting to chat with me.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one.
Take care.